Frank Miniter joins us. He's author of The Ultimate Man Survival Guide. He's also executive editor of NRA's American Hunter magazine and blogs a lot about the Bill of Rights and knows a lot about a lot of different things. Your take on Gaddafi being found and killed, Frank?
Well, it's wonderful to hear that he died so well.
Yeah.
Don't shoot. I hope that's really true.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by it. Are you surprised by that? I mean, that doesn't surprise me one bit that he would be doing that.
Yeah, they always snake out dictators like that in the end. They don't have their Amazon women guardians anymore.
Yeah, that's right. The women covering him. All right, so we asked you to come on the show this morning to talk about the animals, the exotic animals that were on the loose in Ohio yesterday. You've hunted big game before. I have to ask you, first of all, the cops did the right thing, right? I mean, they had to shoot these animals.
That was the only thing they possibly could do. They didn't have tranquilizers. It was getting dark. They had no choice. We had 19 Bengal tigers on the loose. There was nothing else they could do.
Yeah, because tranquilizers, first of all, cops aren't running around with tranquilizers, number one. And number two, you don't necessarily know what those tranquilizers are going to do right off the bat.
Well, if you get it right into their bloodstream, into a good hit, you still have a couple of minutes to wait. And, a tiger can do a lot of mayhem in a couple of minutes. What astounds me, too, is they had to stop some of these cats with their 9mm sidearms, which I wouldn't want to face down a Bengal tiger with a 9mm. It's much too light.
That's probably pretty close-range stuff there, isn't it?
They said a couple of them were point blank,
Wow.
charging them right at their feet.
That's scary. That's scary. Now, how dangerous is a situation like that where you have marauding tigers and lions on the loose? I mean, was there a real danger to public safety, or would these cats have been more afraid of you than you would have been of them?
No, there's actually incredible danger. You'd actually be better off with completely wild tigers and lions and so on, because they would go off into the wild and be scared of people. Whereas these half-tame animals, those are the ones that really attack people, and we even see that here with grizzly bears, where they're not hunted in the West and that kind of thing. When they start to lose their fear of people, become habituated, they become more dangerous. Yesterday,
when the animals were still on the loose, there was somebody, an expert, who said that if you actually come across one of these big cats, don't run. Just stand still. And Mary Kath and I looked at each other and said, yeah, right. What person is going to be able to sit there and just stand there and be still without running? Because he said that would trigger their animal instinct to go after you.
It would. You want to be as big as possible and just move away if you can. That's absolutely what you have to do.
Just kind of try and be invisible and just pretend like, hey, there's not a big lion there or a big
big and strong. You want to stand up, hey, speak loudly, but walk away from him, be calm, and hopefully you can get away from that animal unless you're armed, and then you can, take other action. I was just hunting in New Mexico where guys were calling elk and had a cougar come up within 10 feet of them, and that's what they did. They stood up, and the cougar just sat there and watched them as they moved away. That's what you have to do.
All right.
I stood still in front of a black bear one time, but I think that a Bengal tiger would viscerally be a different reaction. I feel like.
You like to think you could be manly in that spot, but I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So the other question is exotic farms. I mean, to have 59 wild animals on this farm. That's a big controversy this morning, whether or not you should be allowed in this country to have that many wild animals on your property. What do you think about it?
Well, it should be regulated, and a lot of states do have laws regulating, but some don't. And Ohio needs to get its laws in order. But the Humane Society is wrong in saying this should be completely banned, because actually having animals, captive animals, and raising them this way has benefited a lot of species. Even the rhino was about to go extinct before people took them in and actually raised them on their own, and they created a commodity with them in order to put them back into the wild. That's actually what saved the white rhino, and it's the Bengal tigers. There's only 1,400 right now left in the wild in India, so it's a shame that they had to kill 19 here.
Yeah.
But no, it shouldn't be just done away with, but it should be regulated appropriately.
Well, do you know how easy it is to get these animals?
Unfortunately, it can be really easy, especially in some states. You just have to go and plunk down your cash and buy one. There are some laws, if it's an endangered species, and a Bengal tiger is an endangered species, you're not supposed to be able to bring them in the country, and you're not supposed to actually go across state borders with them, which he did in different cases. And he actually exhibited some of the animals in different cases, according to reports, which should have brought federal regulations down upon him, which I don't know why that didn't happen.
How do you collect 19 tigers?
Oh, boy, it's not as hard as you think. There's a real market out there if you start looking for exotic.
But that's got to be a lot of money, right?
Yeah, I don't know where he was getting all his money. He was just in jail for having automatic weapons illegally. I mean, he's a felon. I don't know how this is even possible.
All right, Frank, good to have you on the program. We appreciate your time.
Thanks.